Hello friends and welcome to my studio. I'm your friend Momo and today we are going to be creating a bishop sleeve pattern and a summer pattern which is a flutter sleeve pattern from a regular sleeve blouse. So the story behind these beautiful blouses is that I ordered this from JCrew in my size, but when I received it, the sleeve was too tight for me. And I read the reviews online and it looked like the sleeve was a problem for most of the customers. So in any case, I didn't want to lose the blouse, so I decided to change the sleeve, but there was not enough material for me to do that. So I went back online and I found the same blouse on clearance, and it was such a good price that I was able to purchase the second one in a larger size. But when the larger size blouse arrived, it still had the same problem. The sleeve was cut too small. And I decided to winterize this top by creating a bishop sleeve pattern, the one that I'm wearing right now. And the second one I'm going to be creating into a summer sleeve pattern, which is this beautiful flutter sleeve. I think the flutter sleeve is very good for the summer. It is seen on the runways. It is coming up in 2021. It is a very easy sleeve to wear. It gives you a little bit of coverage and it creates an hourglass shape and it hides a lot of imperfections. And it works for a lot of different body types. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a bishop sleeve and a flutter sleeve out of a standard sleeve blouse. Let's get started. So there are many different projects that you can create this way. You can take a summer dress that you might have and you can winterize it by converting the sleeve, and you can cut it off into a top and utilize the fabric that you get from the bottom to create the volume on the sleeve. Similarly, if you have a summer blouse that you want to renew for the next season, you can just take the sleeves off, convert them into flutter sleeve. You can buy a denim trench coat from your thrift store and you can change the shape of the sleeve by taking a matching or contrasting denim recovered from another jeans that you can get from the thrift store for cheap. And you can convert your trench coat into a bishop sleeve trench coat, which is very hot this season. We're starting out with 4 sleeves because we have 2 blouses. Take one of the sleeves and make a triangle like so. This is the panel that is going to create the volume for the bishop sleeve. We're going to cut this triangle and then we're going to flip it around and cut another triangle the same size from the same sleeve. We're going to place this triangle on the sleeve and we're going to mark the highest point of this triangle. We're going to cut the sleeve open to the highest point and insert the triangle and stretch out the sleeve pattern. This is going to create volume for the bishop sleeve. Looking at it from the side, we can now see that there's a lot more volume. This volume is going to give us the space for gathers. So we're going to gather this volume and we are going to attach it to the cuff, and that is your bishop sleeve. Moving on to the flutter sleeve. So flutter sleeve is actually just a half moon sort of shape that you can see here. When we attach this moon shape spread out and attach to the arm sky, it gives you the flutter sleeve. So it's pretty simple. Moving on to the actual blouse. So first I'm going to cut out the embroidered border because I'm going to utilize it in my design later. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to take the third sleeve and I'm going to cut a triangle out of it just like I showed you. Use your best judgment and try to maximize the fabric that your sleeve allows you. So utilize as much as you can from that one sleeve pattern. again, we're going to place it on the sleeve that we are going to extend. We are going to mark the highest point and we are going to cut the sleeve open. At this point, just be mindful of which one is your front and your back, because your sleeves should be easy to attach where they are supposed to go. Next, we're going to insert this triangle into the sleeve. So just pin it to one side of the sleeve first and then stitch it down. Then bring it around, pin it again, and then attach it. And make sure that you have a sharp point at the top of the triangle and it is done neatly. At this point, I'm going to apply the embroidered border that I had kept as an embellishment on top of the cap of my sleeve. So I'm just going to pin that down and I'm going to top stitch it. This is also going to cover the tip of the triangle that I have inserted into the sleeve, and it is going to give it more strength. Then I iron down the sleeves and I top stitch the triangle. This gives a very neat look and it is not easily noticeable. Next, we're going to move on to the gathers. So as you can see, now we've created a lot of volume on the outer edges of the sleeve. We are going to use a basting stitch on the sewing machine and we're going to stitch it down, and then we are going to pull and create some gathers. Now at this point, you can choose to distribute the gathers throughout the sleeve, but in my case, what I did was I wanted the gathers to be more on the outside rather than on the inside of the sleeve. So I pushed the gathers towards the outside of the sleeve, and the gathers on the inside of the sleeves are not too many. We are going to stitch on top of the gathers to hold them in place, and then we are going to attach it to the cuffs. Then we are going to flip over the cuff. We're going to press the seams down, and then we are going to top stitch on top of the cuffs. This is going to ensure that there is no fraying at the seam of the sleeve and the cuff. Repeat the same thing on the other sleeve, and then go ahead and attach the sleeve to the bodice. Your bishop sleeve is now complete. Next, we are moving on to the flutter sleeve. Start by measuring out how much fabric you have. So I drew a circle about 7 inches on the fold, and I made a half moon shape as you can see here. Then I marked 4 inches and I created this half moon shape as you can see. Depending on how much fabric you have, you can extend the sleeve. You can make it even bigger to give you a very full sort of flutter sleeve. Then we are going to cut out this muslin and we are going to place it on the sleeve, mark it and cut it out. So these two half moon shapes, when we attach it to the arm sky, it is going to give us the ruffle sleeve that we are trying to make. To give my flutter sleeve a nice edge, I installed my rolled hem foot on my machine, and I used the same matching thread to create a rolled hem on the outer edge of the sleeve. rolled hem foot is a must-have in your sewing arsenal. To attach the sleeve to the bodice, we're going to pin the right sides together and we're going to attach the top part with the shoulder seam first. Then we're going to stitch it down to as far as it can go. In my case, it was 7 inches. Then I took a small piece of leftover, created a seam binding tape sort of thing, and stitched it at the bottom where the sleeve ended. Then I flipped it over and I top stitched it. This gives you a very neat finished look. At this point you can stop, or you can create a double top stitched edge. You can do this by adjusting the position of your needle to the leftmost position. Depending on your machine, this setting might be available or not. You can take a look and then just carefully sew down around the arm. This is going to give you a very professional finished look. To take it a step further, I decided to adjust the fitting of the blouse. So I laid it out, I marked my measurements, and I cut out the shape of my waist. I don't understand why all store-bought clothes are so boxy. It is probably to fit everybody, but I don't think it looks good. I think the shape of the waist really defines your figure and it makes you look slimmer. So I always do this on all my blouses. And that's about it. We are done. If you learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I do projects like these every week. I'm constantly creating and coming up with different ideas. I strive to teach you new techniques of renewing your wardrobe and to upcycle your thrift clothes, or to create completely new beautiful garments for yourself and your family and your friends. Please hit like and subscribe, share with your friends. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.